Let's turn to Buck Sexton, former CIA analyst, joining us now. We've received a statement from former CIA Dan Hoffman. He comes on this program often. He couldn't come on this morning, but we did reach out to him for a statement, Buck. I'm going to read it to our audience now. I have less of a problem with CNN investigative journalists running with a hot story than I do with the sources who tipped them off. If indeed any of this story is true, whoever was discussing this sensitive story with CNN was certainly committing a major dereliction in duty. Putin has made it clear he will not hesitate to launch assassinations against those he brands traitors. Just look at the fates of Skripal and Litvinenko. I can imagine how our sources risking their lives now behind enemy lines must be wondering whether it's worth it, whether their information will be run through some political meat grinder, which risks exposing their identities. It certainly appears that the key point of the story is that a CIA source had to be exfiltrated out of concern President Trump had compromised him. Best to leave the intelligence community and their sacred work out of partisan politics. There are plenty of other issues on which to argue with the president. Before I went overseas as chief of station the first time many years ago, a CIA veteran was giving me some advice about how best to do our work. He summed it up simply: the secret of our success is the secret of our success. Buck, your reaction to the reporting this morning?
I agree with my old colleague, Dan. I think he sums it up nicely in that statement. I would just add to it that there's an obvious recklessness from anybody who would be talking about this kind of story that had access or knew anything, if in fact that's what went on here. It certainly seems to be the case. And there's also, I think, a recklessness from journalists to run with this. I mean, they have to, as Americans, as patriots, also make some determinations about what the public needs to know versus what actually does put people in jeopardy, what can be problematic from a national security perspective. And while legally they tend not to fall into the same consequences as those with access to the information, that doesn't mean that ethically they can just report on whatever they want. And in this case, it's quite clear that it was just meant to get Trump. The story here really isn't about the whole operation or exfiltration, whether it's true or not, although the agency's already come out, which is rare, and said this is just BS. This is not true. But this was all meant to be a weapon against Donald Trump, and that's why I think some of the other barriers, both from people allegedly inside the intelligence community who talked about this, and some of the journalists here who ran with a half-baked, if not entirely untrue story, because we're in the Get Trump era, all of the rules all of a sudden don't apply the same way. And that's what I think happened with this story.
And so that point was clearly made by yourself and your colleague, Dan Hoffman, who I also want to point out is a Fox News contributor. You look at the reporting in the New York Times, though, and they don't say it's because specifically of Donald Trump that this person was extracted from Russia. They say it was because of the media. I know you've dug into that report as well.
Absolutely, and that just shows you that absent in the CNN report, for example, Donald Trump's role in this is at the very top of the story, and that's why they assume their readership is most interested in that component. Just the overall details here would be of much lesser interest. And again, CIA has already said it's false, but what they've told us is really meant to be a political story. It's not even so much a national security story. Why the New York Times and some of the other outlets that have reported on this would think that this is something the American people should know about. If, in fact, there was, forget about it even being specific to Russia, any high-level source in any foreign government that is useful to our intelligence service, that's something journalists should know. And the real pros who aren't total partisans do know, should never be released publicly, should never be talked about. As a patriotic duty, forget about whether or not the First Amendment legally protects it. It's a question of judgment and ethics. And I think that in this case, you've seen a lot of people that have just decided, well, because it makes Trump look reckless, we're just going to say that this is something people need to hear about.
So you've got the CNN report, which the CIA is saying is misguided and untrue. You've got the New York Times report saying that this happened because of the media. NBC followed up on the CNN report and actually drove to the person's house, at which time SUVs pulled up alongside them and obviously got them to leave and go away, this particular reporter or correspondent. How much damage can this do coming from the CIA?
Well, the fundamental truth and reality of doing intelligence work is to protect sources and methods. And it's not just for the individual's safety, it's for the people down the line that you're going to ask to take risks on your behalf. Now, again, the agency has said that this is all bunk, this story is nonsense, but let's just assume for a moment that there is some degree of truth to it somewhere. If the NBC reporters can find this person, the Russian government can find this person. And we know how the Russians deal with people that speak out of school, particularly if they were close to Putin or a problem for the government. So there are real risks here, and I think a lot of journalists involved have to ask themselves, was this worth it? Just to get yet another grudge shot in against Donald Trump?
Well,
I hope they think the answer is no.
All right, so there's going to be a lot more reporting and follow-up on this, and some right here on the Fox News channel. Buck Sexton, thank you.